Hello, dear class 2 students. Welcome back. So today we will discuss about lesson 9, EVS, and the name of the lesson would be Younger and Liremo. So you can all turn to page 47, 47. Now, students, after starting this lesson, we will learn about neighborhood. Okay, we will also learn about what people do in the neighborhood. So this is going to be a very interesting lesson. So we'll start with a story. Okay. So here we have Younger and Liremo. Now they are, very best friends, and both of them they study. They study in class 2, like all of you. Okay. So I'm sure you all have that one best friend, right? I mean, everyone is your friend, but you have that one best friend whom you like to hang out. So Younger and Liremo were best friends, and they were going to school. So you can see here, okay, this is Younger and this is Liremo, and they are going to school. They are discussing. They are on their way to school. They are discussing all this and that, and they are having fun. Now, on the way, they met Uncle Nuzo. Okay, Uncle Nuzo. So this is Uncle Nuzo, and Younger he recognized Uncle Nuzo. So he said, "Hey, Uncle Nuzo, where are you going?" So Uncle Nuzo, with a smile, Uncle Nuzo said, like, "Hey, I'm going to office." And then they departed from there. And Uncle Nuzo told both Younger and Liremo that enjoy and have a nice day. But Liremo was confused. This is Liremo, okay? He was confused. Now, because he didn't know Uncle Nuzo. So he asked Younger, okay, he asked his friend Younger, "How did you know Uncle Nuzo? How did you know him? And how did you recognize him?" So Younger, with a smile on his face, you can see here, okay, with a smile on his face, he said, "Uncle Nuzo is my neighbor." Okay, Uncle Nuzo is my neighbor, and he lives in my neighborhood. So again, Liremo was confused. And Liremo asked, "Younger, what is this neighborhood?" So again, Nuzo replied, "The people and the area where I live is a neighborhood." So Liremo came to know about neighborhood, okay, through Younger. So students, from here, I want to talk about neighborhood. So this is one neighborhood that we can see here in Kohima. But students, what is a neighbor, or what is neighborhood? So students, see, there are many houses, or there are many places around your house, right? And there are many different peoples, and near your house you will also see many, you'll see shops, you'll see market, you'll see school, banks, police station, right? So the people and the area where we live, that is our neighborhood. Okay. So students, now both Younger and Liremo, they reach school. Okay, they reach school, and it's first period. And the first period they have EVS subject, their favorite subject, EVS subject. So they all stood up. Okay, the students, they all stood up and they said, "Good morning, sir." So the teacher replied, the teacher, okay, the EVS teacher replied, "Okay, sit down. Okay, sit down. Today I'm going to teach you about people who do different types of work in our neighborhood." Now the students were all excited, especially Younger and Liremo, because on their way to school, they were discussing about the neighborhood, the people, the neighbor. So they were very excited. And the teacher was going to discuss about what people do in neighborhood. So the teacher started explaining. So the teacher first explained and about the policeman. Okay, so students, see, we have all seen police, right? So many of you get scared, right, of police. But students, these policemen, they protect our neighborhood. Okay, they protect our neighborhood, and they punishes those who disobey the rule. Okay, now in our neighborhood, there should be a rule, there should be a law. And if anyone disobeys and violates the rule, there is a police who will punish them. Okay? But a police can be our friend. Can be our friend if we obey the rule. Okay? And even in Nagaland, we all live in different neighborhoods. So in every neighborhood, we'll see a police station. Okay? So students, these policemen, they protect us. They are the guardian of the law and order. And now students, do you know India? Our country is India, right? And India is a big country. Now, our neighbors are all international countries. So in all our boundaries, in all the borders, the police, without sleeping, they protect our country in the borders. They don't allow any bad people to enter inside our country. That's why we are safe. Okay? Now, next, the teacher was discussing about grocer. Now you can see a shopkeeper here, right? So students, in your neighborhood, near your house, we have many shops, right? So a grocer is someone who sells things, who sells good. Okay? Now, if you want to, many of you like eating chocolates, right? Chocolates? Who don't like to eat chocolates, right? Then you go to shop to buy a chocolate, right? So a grocer, a shopkeeper is someone who sells things. Okay? We call them grocer. Okay? Or students, many of you say locally, okay? Many of you in our neighborhood, we say Malik, right? Or Dukan Malik, right? So Dukan Malik or Malik, that is the grocer. Okay? Now, we will discuss about doctor and nurse. Many of you, when you become big, I know you'll become doctor. Some of you will become doctor. Some of you will become nurse, right? So doctor and nurse, they work in hospital, okay? They work in hospital. They work very, very, very hard. They treat the sick people, okay? They treat the sick people. Now, if you are not well, okay, if you get sick and all, you'll go to the doctor, right? Now the doctor will treat you, the doctor will examine your body, and the doctor will give you medicine, right? Or doctor may also give you injection, right? So we have different parts in our body, right? So for all parts, there are different doctors, okay? There are different doctors. Now, doctors and nurse, they really work hard, and we should thank them, okay? We should thank our doctor and our nurse because they're working really hard, and especially these days, they're working day and night, okay? They're working day and night. In this pandemic, they are working day and night. Many people are getting sick, right? So they don't sleep, and they stay in hospital, and they're looking after the people. So we should really thank them. Okay? Now, a carpenter. Okay? A carpenter. Okay. So let's do an activity. Let's spell this together. Okay? Okay. So are you all ready? Carpenter. A carpenter. Okay? Now see, this is how a carpenter works. Now some of you might be interested in doing this kind of job, right? And this is really an interesting job. So students, a carpenter is a person who works on wooden object. Okay? He or she has mastered the art of working with woods. They make beautiful furnitures. Have you seen? See, we all have wooden chairs, wooden bed, right? And also they do construction. Okay, they maintain buildings. So students, a carpenter plays a very, very important role in our neighborhood. Okay? Now, students, so now, Younger and Liremo, they have learned about different people working in the neighborhood. They have learned about the policeman, they have learned about the carpenter, a doctor and nurse, and grocer. So now students, Younger and Liremo, they are going back to house, okay, to their respective home. So now while on their way to their home, they discuss, okay, they are discussing. So Younger asks Liremo, what you will do, okay? Now we are going home, so what you'll do? Are you going to play? Are you going out? So Liremo said, I'm going to church. Okay, I'm going to church because we have a song practice for Easter Sunday. So Younger was very excited. And Younger asked Liremo, what in your neighborhood, what other celebrations do you have? Okay, what are the other celebrations do you have in your neighborhood? So again, Liremo replied, in our neighborhood, we celebrate wedding. Okay, we celebrate wedding, and we also celebrate Christmas together. Okay, so Younger was very excited about all these celebrations. And Liremo said, Younger, if you are free, if you don't have any work at home, you can join us. You can join us for the song practice for Easter Sunday. Or in any other celebration, wherever in our neighborhood, if we have any celebration, I will call you. So come and be a part of our celebration. So that's the end of the story, okay? And that's the end of the chapter. So students, from this chapter, we have learned about neighborhood. We have learned about our neighbors. We have learned about different people who does different work in the neighborhood, right? You have learned about a policeman. You have learned about a carpenter. You have learned about a doctor, a nurse. So students, to keep our neighborhood clean is also our responsibility. And to respect every people in our neighborhood is our duty. Okay? So now it's a question time. So are you all excited? Let's get started. So students, the first question, where were Younger and Liremo going? Okay, do you remember the story still? Younger and Liremo, they were going to school, right? They were having fun, they were discussing, and then they were going to school, right? Okay. Who is the neighbor? The second question, okay? Who is the neighbor of Mr. Nuzo? Okay, Mr. Nuzo, do you remember? Uncle with glasses? Okay, so who is the neighbor? Student, do you remember? It is younger, okay? Younger, Y-A-N-G-E-R. So that will be your answer. Now, students, the third question. Where was Mr. Nuzo going? Where was Mr. Nuzo going? So he was going to office, right? He was going to the office. Now, students, fourth question. Fourth question, that is, what does a teacher do? A teacher teach, right? So you all have different teachers in your school, right? And you have your favorite subject or you have your favorite teacher, right? Okay. Now, students, the fifth question. What did the environmental study teacher teach that day? So, students, do you remember? They reached school and it was first period, okay? Younger in Liremo, it was first period. And the teacher discussed about what people do, okay, in the neighborhood. Okay. So the teacher discussed about doctor, nurse. The teacher discussed about the carpenter. The teacher discussed about the policeman, right? Now, students, our last question, that is our sixth question. Name the occasions that Liremo and his neighbors celebrate. Okay, so what were the occasions that we discussed, students? So do you remember this incident in the story? When Younger asked Liremo, "Hey Liremo, what other celebrations do you have in your neighborhood?" Then Liremo said, in our neighborhood, we celebrate Christmas together, right? We celebrate Christmas together. We celebrate Easter Sunday. And then Liremo also said, we celebrate weddings, right? So students, you can write all the answers down. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the lesson. And in the next class, students, we will start with a new lesson. Thank you, students.